Hi, I'm back. Took some time off, first video in a long time. Had to take care of a sick family member, and it just eats up a lot of time when you're a caretaker and you work a job. And I've been very grouchy because of it, being honest. However, I've not been blind to the events that have gone on since my last video. Um, you know, awful stuff. Truly terrible stuff. However, I am reminded right now of a statement that I make all the time, and that is, it's freedom of speech. We are guaranteed freedom of speech. We are not guaranteed freedom of consequences. Now let's break in. Freedom of speech means we can say whatever we want. However awful that thing may be, we can say what is on our mind. We can't make other people listen. We can't even say that it's correct, but we can say whatever we want, however abhorrent those ideas. And I am a firm believer in that. I do not agree with cancel culture. I think cancel culture definitely ran amok, and it claimed a lot of victims. Bill Maher, Louis Farrakhan, Tucker Carlson, comedians, Kanye West. As awful as I find some of these opinions, they have a right to say them. They have a right to be heard. They have a right to say whatever vile, awful, or correct and profound things come out of their head. Now we come to Jimmy Kimmel. And I've seen a lot of TikToks, right-wing video, everything else that Jimmy Kimmel, it's not cancel culture. It's not his freedom of speech isn't violated. He's free to say, he's still free to say whatever he wants, just not have a show doing it. Now, why is Jimmy Kimmel different? I've seen a lot of video. He wasn't making money. It was a business decision. All the things. Why is Jimmy Kimmel different? Well, first, we're going to look at this clip from the Benny Hill show where the FCC commissioner gave an interview. And then the Jimmy Kimmel decision came right after this video aired. So let's take a look.
They have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. And we can get into some ways that we've been trying to reinvigorate the public interest and some changes that we've seen. But frankly, when you see stuff like this, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
And that right there is why Jimmy Kimmel is different. Point blank, you have a government official threatening consequences for speech, threatening to stifle that speech if actions are not taken before. It's basically retribution. It is the government threatening retribution for someone expressing their First Amendment rights. Textbook. That is textbook violation of First Amendment rights. Louis Farrakhan, that's not a violation of free speech. Trump being kicked off Facebook, nobody in the government threatened Facebook with consequences if they did not remove Donald Trump from Twitter or Facebook or any of the social media platforms that he was on. Dave Chappelle. Nobody from the federal government went and tried to cancel Dave Chappelle. Bill Maher, same thing. That was in like 2001, 2002. All these people that have lost their platforms, lost their job, these things that we call canceled, it wasn't the FCC coming in and saying, hey, you get rid of them or we're going to investigate you. You will face consequences if you do not remove this. Now, there are some laws that govern the airwaves as far as decency laws and, the 7 words, things of that nature. Those are well established. Those have been established by Congress. The airwaves are a public trust, so there is some oversight. on what can be shown. That being said, what Kimmel did hit none of those guidelines, hit none of those statutorily established regulations. This is just the FCC commissioner, like a mob boss, saying, nice network you have here. Be a shame if something happened to it. That's all he did. That is a violation of freedom of speech. It's not a consequence. It has nothing to do with that. If Jimmy Kimmel went on air and called his boss an idiot, then and then he got fired, that would be a consequence. Tucker Carlson, making it financially viable, being threatened with lawsuits because of what he says on Fox News, that is a consequence. That is not the government coming in and saying things. That is a private legal action. We have to be very clear on this. The First Amendment only governs government action against speech. It doesn't account for private action against speech. That's the key difference. With Kimmel, it is the government taking action to stifle his voice. Anyway, first video back. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please hit like and subscribe. Maybe your comments, if you disagree, agree. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good night.